Today, we're experimenting with a low-carb bread recipe that promises to be a game-changer. If you're someone who loves bread but is trying to cut down on carbs, this recipe is going to be a revelation for you. Traditional bread is often loaded with carbohydrates, which can be a challenge for those on low-carb or ketogenic diets, but fear not, because this recipe is here to save the day. We discovered this recipe on Twitter and were immediately intrigued by its unique ingredient list. Social media can be a treasure trove of innovative recipes, and this one caught our eye for its promise of low-carb goodness without sacrificing flavor or texture. The online community has been buzzing about it, and we couldn't wait to give it a try. The ingredients are quite unconventional for bread, which includes mascarpone cheese, gelatin, and mozzarella. These ingredients might sound more like components of a dessert or a savory dish, but they come together beautifully to create a bread that's both delicious and low in carbs. Mascarpone cheese adds a rich, creamy texture, while gelatin helps to bind the ingredients together, and mozzarella provides that familiar cheesy flavor. This recipe yields 4 slices of bread, each containing only 1 net carb. That's right, just 1 net carb per slice. For those who are counting carbs, this is a fantastic option that allows you to enjoy bread without the guilt. The low-carb content makes it perfect for anyone following a ketogenic or low-carb diet, and it's a great way to satisfy your bread cravings without derailing your dietary goals. To make the bread, we'll combine the mascarpone, eggs, and gelatin in a bowl. The process is straightforward and doesn't require any special equipment. Simply mix the ingredients until they are well combined. The eggs help to give the bread structure and rise, while the gelatin ensures that the bread holds together without becoming too dense. Then we'll pour the batter into greased mini loaf pans and bake them in the oven. Greasing the pans is important to ensure that the bread doesn't stick and comes out easily once baked. The mini loaf pans are perfect for creating individual portions that are easy to manage and serve. Bake the bread until it's golden brown and a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Once the bread slices are baked, we'll assemble the grilled cheese. Allow the bread to cool slightly before handling it to ensure it holds its shape. The aroma of freshly baked bread is simply irresistible, and you'll be tempted to dig in right away. But patience is key here, as the bread needs a little time to set before it's ready to be transformed into a delicious grilled cheese sandwich. We'll layer slices of Gouda cheese and cooked bacon on the bread, and then melt the cheese in the oven. Gouda cheese is a great choice for grilled cheese sandwiches because it melts beautifully and has a rich, buttery flavor. The addition of bacon adds a smoky, savory element that takes the sandwich to the next level. Place the assembled sandwiches in the oven just long enough for the cheese to melt and become gooey. The resulting grilled cheese is rich, decadent, and surprisingly satisfying. Each bite is a perfect blend of creamy cheese, crispy bacon, and dense, flavorful bread. It's hard to believe that something this delicious can be low-carb, but it's true. This grilled cheese sandwich is proof that you don't have to sacrifice taste to stick to a low-carb diet. While the bread itself is dense, it pairs perfectly with the melty cheese and crispy bacon. The texture of the bread is different from traditional bread, but it's still incredibly satisfying. The density of the bread means that it's filling and will keep you satisfied for longer. Plus, the combination of flavors and textures in this sandwich is simply unbeatable. This recipe is a great option for those following a low-carb or ketogenic diet who crave comfort food. It's a wonderful way to enjoy a classic comfort food like grilled cheese without the carbs. Whether you're new to low-carb eating or a seasoned pro, this recipe is sure to become a favorite. Give it a try and see for yourself just how delicious low-carb bread can be. On this screen, I show you the recipe. Low-carb bread is a game changer for anyone on a ketogenic or low-carb lifestyle. This recipe delivers a delicious, fluffy loaf with minimal carbs, making it perfect for sandwiches, toasting, or enjoying with your favorite toppings. Finely ground for best texture, adds structure and reduces moisture, provides elasticity and mimics gluten, ensure it's gluten-free, adjust to taste. Room temperature, separated into yolks and whites, or coconut oil for dairy-free, or your preferred low-carb milk, helps with rise. Sesame seeds, poppy seeds, or a sprinkle of sea salt. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. Line a loaf pan 8x 4 inches with parchment paper or lightly grease it. In a large mixing bowl, combine almond flour, coconut flour, psyllium husk powder, baking powder, and salt. Mix well to ensure even distribution. Using a hand mixer or stand mixer, whip the egg whites until stiff peaks form. This adds volume and lightness to the bread. In another bowl, whisk together the egg yolks, melted butter, almond milk, and apple cider vinegar. Slowly add the wet mixture to the dry ingredients, stirring until a thick batter forms. Gently fold in the whipped egg whites, being careful not to deflate the mixture. Pour the batter into the prepared loaf pan and smooth the top with a spatula. Optionally, sprinkle sesame seeds or other toppings for added flavor and texture. Bake for 40-45 minutes or until the top is golden brown and a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. If the top browns too quickly, tent the loaf with aluminum foil midway through baking. Allow the bread to cool in the pan for 10 minutes, then transfer it to a wire rack to cool completely. This step is crucial to avoid crumbling. 1. Low-carb flours behave differently than wheat flour, so precise measurements are key. 2. Ensure it's finely ground to avoid a gritty texture. 3. Gently fold in the egg whites to maintain the bread's fluffiness. 4. Store in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days or refrigerate for up to a week. It can also be sliced and frozen for up to 3 months. Approximately 120. Tilde 2G, net carbs tilde 1G, tilde 5G, tilde 10G. Enjoy this low-carb bread as a guilt-free alternative to traditional bread, perfect for all your keto and low-carb needs.